Alright, for this tips and tricks segment, we're going to take a peek behind the curtain at the FFG process. So if you've played Into Inthilien before, you've probably lost, and then you played again, and you lost, and you played again, and you lost, and it's a very, very hard quest. But then you take a look at the rule sheet, and you see Into Inthilien has a difficulty rating of 4. And you have to think, well, how could that be? How could this only have a rating of 4? Well, I actually know how they determine the process, and you can do it as well. You can type this into Google, the LOTR LCG difficulty generator, and then you put a max of 10, you hit generate, and there you go, 4. So that's how these difficulty ratings are determined. Alright, let's get to the quests. Alright, let's go. So why is this quest so hard? Well, let's take a look at the setup and see what we start the game with. So we're going to start out, we get an ally in the staging area, Kellador. And then we're going to add Ithilien Road as the active location. We're going to put a copy of Southron Company in the staging area. Then we're going to give the encounter deck a shuffle. And then we have to make 15 progress using battle, which means we have to quest with our attack. And then if we complete the stage with Kellador, or maybe it's Celador, anyway, in the staging area, we get to skip stage 2. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I have to go to stage 2, I've pretty much lost because I don't have much threat reduction in this deck, and this quest can really ramp your threat up. Alright, so Ithilien Road is the active location for quest points, but if it's still the active location at the combat phase, each enemy in the staging area has an engagement cost of 0, so they will all engage you, so that's bad. And then we start with an enemy, and it only has 1 threat unless there is a battle or siege keyword on the quest. Then it has 3 threat, plus 5 attack instead of 3 attack. And then it takes 6 to kill it. So it's bad. The shadow is also bad, plus 2 attack if there's a keyword on the quest. So all the enemies are terrible. Okay, Kellador. He's a 2/2/2/3, and while he's in the staging area, he is committed to the quest. And then if we quest unsuccessfully, or a character leaves play, we got to deal damage to this guy. And he only has 3 hit points. If he leaves play, we remove him from the game. So doing sneak attacks isn't really great, and chump blocking isn't great, because you're going to lose this guy, which makes you basically have to go through an entire extra stage of this quest, and that stage requires siege questing, and like I said, your threat goes up in this quest quite a bit. There's a lot of encounter cards and quest card effects that make you raise your threat. So having to go through a whole additional stage is pretty much death for my deck. I don't have much threat reduction other than Gandalf. I'll be using our custom tracker, resources on the top, threat on the bottom. And my starting threat is 31 because I'm running Aragorn, so he can commit to the quest, spend a resource, and then ready himself. Ithilien does a damage as an enemy is revealed from the encounter deck. Very good. This quest has some 1 hit point bats that have a when revealed, and Ithilien can kill them before the when revealed triggers. So he's really good tech against them. And then a new hero, Baragon. He has 4 defense and 4 hit points, and then you can play weapon and armor attachments on him, reducing the cost by 2. Very good hero for this quest. Now before we see the full video playthrough, let's see some of my losses. So in this loss, I snuck in Gandalf because I thought I could advance to the next stage this round. So I didn't mind Kellador getting 1 damage. Gandalf killed an enemy I was engaged with. You could see I'm still engaged with an enemy. That guy actually has archery. I do a cool trick there. That location lets you exhaust a ranger to place 3 progress. So I commit Aragorn to the quest, spend Aragorn's resource to ready him, and then exhaust Aragorn to clear that location. And I get a blocking warg! This card's actually been errated. It no longer gets shuffled back in, but it still does a damage to each character committed to the quest, and it surges. So we're going to deal the damage out to everyone committed to the quest, which kills my Vassal of the Windlord, and because he leaves play, that does a damage to Kellador. Kellador takes a damage because he was committed to the quest, and because I lost the 3 attack from the Winged Guardian, I will not be clearing this quest stage this round, and my threat is already 39, so I'm basically dead. In a different game, I reveal a blocking warg, so I got to deal a damage to everybody, and then it surges into another blocking warg, and then that surged into another ranger. He's going to be committed to the quest, but he also surges. I reveal a third blocking warg, and I rage quit. I stopped playing for the rest of the day. Here's a fun one. So this is turn 1. I need to engage a Southern Company because I only placed 3 progress on the active location. I do have Cram on Baragon, so he can discard that to ready. So I defend with Baragon, 5 against 4, and attacking enemy makes an additional attack. So I take my damage, and then, like I said, I can discard Cram to ready attached hero. So I will for that additional attack. And the shadow is attacking enemy gets +3 if it's a Harad enemy. So that killed Baragon. That was fun. Turn 1. When I playtested this deck on Octagon, I actually won 2 out of the 3 games, so I thought I was going to get a victory pretty quick, but this game we're about to watch is actually attempt number 6. So how do you beat this thing? Well, it takes a little bit of luck. You need to have a good opening hand and a good first couple rounds, so you can't get swarmed by enemies. You can't have your threat go insane. Alright, so what did we get? We got Sword that was broken. That's going to help in the end game. We got Steward. We got a Dwarven Axe. That'll add 2 attack to a Dwarf. We got the Envoy of Peligir, which is really good because then I can get Steward in on round 1. We also got Faramir. That's good for the end game as well. And a Hail of Stones to do some direct damage to the staging area. Not the greatest opening hand. Another Dwarven Axe is what I'm going to draw, but I don't have an Eagle to quest for 3. I'd like one of those Vassals of the Windlord. But I can get Steward in on round 1, and that seems pretty good because I have won this quest without drawing Steward, but having it definitely would help. So you spend 2 to put in the Envoy of Peligir, and then she can add a resource to a Noble or Gondor hero once she enters play. So I put the resource on Aragorn, giving him 2 leadership, and then I put the Steward on Thalion, giving him 2 tactics resources, and then he can pay for that axe, which gives him +2 attack. So we are battle questing, so we're going to be using the attack values for willpower. So the Envoy is questing for 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, counting Kelador and staging, and we get, okay, here we go, great. So I got to choose somebody and remove them from the quest, so I'll choose the Envoy. That's only -1 attack power being sent to the quest, and that's the kind of card you need to reveal on turn 1. You get another enemy and you don't clear that road, you're getting engaged by a ton. There's treacheries that are just terrible, and they raise your threat and they damage everybody. So that helped. That was a card I could definitely handle on turn 1. I am not going to engage that Southern Company because I can't damage it. And we go to the next round. I forget to remove the tokens, but that's okay. So I draw an Eagles is Coming. So I'm really hoping to find... There he is. Okay, the Vassal of the Windlord. Now, support of the Eagles is not an Eagle card. It just says Boon. It doesn't have the Eagle trait. It looks like it should be because it has an eagle on it, but it's not. But, oh man, I am so happy to see that Vassal of the Windlord because he quests for 3 for 1 resource. It's nuts. So I will spend that resource off of Baragon to put him into play. I will put a second axe on Thalion. It's not limit 1 per hero. So now he is going to be questing for 6, which is really, really great. That is incredible. So, okay. So if I send the the Vassal of the Windlord, I am going to be sending a lot of attack, which is really good. The faster I can get through stage 1, the better, because, like I said, threat is an issue with this quest. So there's 1, 2, 3, 9... Oh, should I send Aragorn? I could pop him back up with his resource. So I think I will. So I'll send 9 plus Aragorn's 3 is 12 plus Kelador is 14. And we get, okay, great, Overgrown Trail. It's a 4-threat location, and you can exhaust a ranger to place 3 progress on it. Well, since I readied Aragorn, he is going to be able to place some progress on that. So I placed a bunch of progress on the quest, so that's great. And then I remember to turn on my light. And then, yeah, I'll just exhaust Aragorn to place 3 progress on that location, making it easier to clear next turn. And then I still don't think I'm going to engage this guy. I haven't had to raise my threat yet. He's a 34. My threat's a 32. I can't kill it. There's no reason to risk a shadow. The shadow effects are really nasty. So we're just going to go into the next round. and I'm looking for some expensive eagles, but hey, I'll take a cheap one. I'd love Eagles of the Misty Mountain. Gandalf would be good to see for some upcoming turns, but yeah, I'll put in another Vassal of the Windlord, and now I just need to make enough progress to clear this stage. So I might not send those vassals because they only have 1 hit point, and those blocking wargs can kill them. So I want to pause the video here and talk a little gameplay strategy. So here, I don't need to engage the Southern Company yet. And if the active quest doesn't have a keyword, they are not as mean. They don't attack for as much. So it's like, do I want to advance this round? Can I advance this round? That's the kind of strategy you got to start really thinking about with this quest. I could send everybody, but then I might lose them if I get a blocking warg. So it's really like a risk-reward type thing. So what I decide to do is I want to make sure I send enough to have progress made. I have Aragorn ready so I can exhaust him to clear that active location if I need to, because it's exhaust a ranger to place 3 progress. So there's a chance I could advance. I need to make 6 progress, but I decide I'm going to play the safe route and not send the vassals, but I will send the envoy, because by sending the envoy, if I'm told to remove a character from the quest, then I'm only removing 1 as opposed to 2 from Kelador or 6 from Ithilien. So sometimes you really got to weigh your options. Do I want to advance and risk losing my characters, or do I want to play it safe and advance next round when the Southern Company will definitely have to engage me? Like I said, there are treacheries that could raise my threat. So risk-reward. This is where you got to just roll the dice a little bit and decide which route you're going to take strategically wise. And strategically is definitely a word. I just said it, and therefore it exists. All right, so here we go. I'm sending 9, and I get, okay, it's just a 3-threat enemy. So that worked out well. I'm trying to save my leadership resources, so I didn't want to send Aragorn. I want to buy one of those expensive leadership cards in hand. So I make 3 progress at the moment, but looking at my hand and looking at how many characters I still have ready, this seems like a good time to chuck some stones. So we're going to spend 1 resource and play a Hail of Stones. And then I have 4 characters I could exhaust, so instead of exhausting Aragorn to place progress on the active location, because he's a ranger, I'm going to exhaust him and 3 other characters to kill the Southern Company that Ithilien damaged when it was revealed. Which now means I'm only up against 3 threat, which puts 3 on the active location and 3 on the quest, and I am now 3 progress away from advancing to hopefully stage 3. I really need to skip stage 2. I don't have the time. My threat will increase too much. Alright, so Ithilien has a lot of resources. And, crap. Okay, so I get another copy of the sword that was broken. There's only 2 in the deck, and I've drawn them both. So, yep, those are all my willpower boosting cards. That's great. I'm glad I have them. I really only needed 1 of them. I didn't need all 3. So I only need to make 3 progress, and I'm up against 3. So Kelador and Ithilien are questing for a total of 8. 8 against 3. I'll send Aragorn, but not ready him. Okay, 3 more. And we get, there we go, the bats! Yes! So Ithilien kills things as they are revealed. Or I should say he does his damage as they are revealed. So that kills the bats before their when revealed's trigger, which is really, really great. So we advance to stage 3. And 3A is just flavor text. 3B says we take control of all the ranger objectives in the staging area, which is awesome. And then enemies are going to stay up in staging. They do not make engagement checks, and we cannot engage them. So you only can damage them by ways that attack into the staging area, either direct damage or like doing here. All right, so we're going to advance to the next round, and we're going to try to quest through this as fast as possible. All right, Spear of the Citadel, that can go on Baragon for free. Not the card I was looking for. I was really looking for something with willpower. But I do have 3 leadership resources. So I will put the sword that is broken on Aragorn. So now everybody has +1 willpower, which is really good. The Spear of the Citadel, if you haven't seen that, it's when you are defending, you deal a damage to the enemy that is attacking you. Okay, so I'm up against 1, and we get doomed 3, and then each player has to find a Harad enemy and add it to the staging area. I think the worst part is doomed 3, because that's a lot of doomed. Okay, so I need a Harad enemy. There's the other rangers in the deck that'd be nice to find. So those guys right there, they attack you when they're added. It says when they enter the staging area, so that's bad. I'm going to add another one of these Southern companies. Right now, because there's no keyword on the quest, they are only 1 threat. And I'm trying to get through this stage as fast as absolutely possible. So I have a total of 2 threat in staging. And I quested for 10, so I make 8, which is really good. I just need a few more. I'm not allowed to engage anything. So that's the end of that turn, and we go to the next round. I have so much resources on Ithilien that I actually have to start putting resources on him physically. And we draw, there we go. Okay, an Eagles of the Misty Mountain. So they cost 4, which I definitely have. But more importantly, they have 2 willpower. And now if I lose my vassals, they'll go under the Eagles of the Misty Mountain, which will boost the Misty Mountain's stats for attack and defense. Okay, thanks to the sword that is broken, I am sending a total of 13, which is really great. 13 against 2, and we get, hey, all right, yes! Shuffling that deck! Move those guys up in the deck. Remember how far they were down? Okay, so they're considered committed to the quest. I don't control them, so they don't get the boost, and they do surge into... Alright, Watcher in the Woods. So raise your threat by 1 for each questing character. Yep, that's bad. That's really bad. So that's how your threat can just start jumping up. Like, I kept talking about it, and you might have been wondering, like, why are you so worried about your threat? That's why. A doomed 3, then that card, that's basically 8 turns worth of threat I just jumped up. And also, that's total characters. So in a 4-player game, that's a game ender, basically. Really not balanced. Okay, but anyway, we make enough progress to advance to stage 4. 4A is just flavor text. And then here, if we're 37 threat or higher, we're going to quest using our defense because it has the siege keyword. And then at the end of the round, we're raising our threat by an extra 2. So yeah, that's why threat is definitely an issue. So now it's basically just try to get the heck out of here as fast as possible. So these guys are both going to engage me. I will defend with Baragon. They take a damage because of the spear, and then they are going to attack again. So that sucks. Baragon takes a damage because there is a keyword on the active quest. I'm going to have to chump with my Vassals of the Windlord because they are the only characters I still have ready, and each of these guys are attacking for 5. So I really don't have a choice. I'm going to defend the guy who's making the additional attack. Okay, it's good to see that Doomed 3 go away. That would have been the card I revealed next round. That would have been horrible. So that goes underneath the Eagles of the Misty Mountain, which in a way isn't bad because it's boosting his defense, which will help me quest next round. Okay, so the other vassal is jumping in front, and the shadow is we remove progress from the quest. Okay, well, there is none, so he also leaves play. Because both of those characters left play, Kelador has 2 damage on him now. Okay, I gotta raise my threat, and I'm basically gonna lose unless I can win this round. So whatever card I draw, it has to have some defense, and a wizard is never late. Yes. Okay, so now I have a decision to make. Do I drop my threat by 5 so I have 2 turns to win? Or do I draw 3 cards and try to get even more defense and just try to win this turn? Because I'm already questing for a lot of defense once I remember to remove these exhaustion tokens. The Eagles of the Misty Mountains and Gandalf are each questing for 4. Baragon is questing for 4. Aragorn has 2. Yeah, I have a lot. The Envoy of Peligir is the only person in play right now who doesn't have a defense. I think I can win this turn. So instead of dropping my threat, I'm going to draw 3 cards and see if I can get even more questing power. Okay, so I got another Envoy, which is good, and I got an Eagles Are Coming, so maybe I can find a Winged Guardian, and there it was, 5 cards down. I just barely was able to grab it. So that worked out great. So that's going to add 4 more defense. So I'm going to be able to quest for a ton. So basically, I should win. I just can't have the encounter deck say raise your threat by the number of questing characters. Dealing a damage to each questing character would also, I think, be really bad. That could probably wipe me out. But any location, any enemy, any treachery that doesn't make me raise my threat should be okay. So let's count up how much I'm actually sending with this siege quest. So we're going to be using our defense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 14, 18, 19, 21. I'm going to ready Aragorn. 22, 23. I might have miscounted one somewhere, but I think I'm sending 23. All right. 23 against nothing. Let's go. We get... Yes! All right. Just a 4 threat location. No problem. So we definitely quested for enough. That is a victory. Holy cow, was that hard fought. Whew, okay, Into Inthilien in the books, ready to move on to something else. Man, that's a hard quest. Don't get frustrated by it. If you have a deck that you think will win, just keep playing it. Eventually the cards are going to fall right and you're going to have a good game. It's a frustrating quest, but I'm sure you can do it. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that one. Take care. Bye-bye.